What's going on YouTube? The Gaming Give here, back with a video it seems like I haven't done in quite some time. I had a bit of a change of the pace for the channel. Lots of PS4 games going up, so be sure to check those out. Lots of great fun with my friends, as I usually have. But we're actually coming back doing something a little different this time around. So I'm not, obviously, only with my 10 subscribers, I'm not a big YouTuber yet. So I don't have like the editing software to make this one big old video. So I'm actually going to split it up into 5 parts. But I'm actually going to do my top 5 favorite mobile / gacha games. And I'm doing the little slash because there are some mobile games out there that I have played that are worth mentioning, which I'll do in my number 1 video as like honorable mentions and stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to split it up into 5 different videos talking about each game. And obviously, number 5, we're going to start out with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, it used to actually be one of my favorite gacha games, but recent events have kind of dropped it from there, and I'll explain why. So with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, a lot of gacha games follow, the RNG, where you pay the specific currency and you get a chance to, get a character or piece of armor and whatnot. With Duel Links, that same effect applies, but when you go into the shop, regardless, there are a set amount of packs, and you have a set chance of actually getting those cards. So out of 100 packs, you are guaranteed to get Interplanetary Purpley Thorny Dragon at least once before you reset the box, and that I like that very much. You are always guaranteed at some point to get the card, whether it's in your first pack, whether it's in your 100th pack. It sucks when it's that far in, but it happens. You will get that chance. And I like that very much with Duel Links, because it's not like you spend thousands upon thousands of gems to not get the card. You're still going to get it. Also too, I like that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links takes the spin off of the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Series and puts it in the speed duel format. I've been a huge fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game for most of my life. Recent events, my decks getting stolen in the past, have kind of strayed me away from this series, but I never started to hate it. I grew away from it when, Pendulum Summons and XYZs and all that stuff came in, and while I did find it fun to toy around with, I still never jumped back onto the scene. When Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links came out, it took the old style of Yu-Gi-Oh! And kind of revamped it with some of the new support, without all of like the XYZs and pendulums and all that. I was okay with synchro summons. I actually enjoyed those, but without all that crazy kooky stuff, excluding fusions. So I hopped on it, and I fell in love with the game. The game does have a lot of its own great quirks. PvP is literally a must-do in the game. That's the point. You want to play other duelists. If this was a PvE Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, it wouldn't do it. It would not do well. It would not. So I like that aspect. I like having PvP games here and there, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Just fits the bill. Also, too, their events are a lot of fun. Besides, I want to say, like, the character events where you just have to kind of just duel over and over. The Monster World event that's going on right now is actually very unique, and I do enjoy it. And they do offer things such as plenty of ways to get free gems, and these Karibo things that keep popping up, where you can actually get cards just by leveling up your Karibo. There are plenty of ways of getting free gems, as by leveling your character.
No one messes with Joey.
Like here at the end of Joey's, there's 100, 200, and 250. So that's 550 gems, sorry. 550 gems you could just get just by there, not to mention all the gems that you get in prior. And there are a bunch of characters in the game. They're adding new characters to the gate for players who are just joining, so people can still get access to the old characters. So there are plenty of ways to earn gems, which is another great factor for me. What are the pros? Let's see. I do like the fact that they do have the card trader, so they give you more free-to-play friendly options of grabbing some pretty unique cards and some that are pretty essential for certain decks, just as Destiny Hero Decider. Customization, it's there if you want it. It's not really one of my main focuses, but I do enjoy it. And I do also like the deck editor. The deck board. I meant to say deck board. The deck board feature where you can come here and people could post their decks so other people could check them out, try them out if they want to, and build the decks just like that. And wow, a lot of Chaz. It's been quite a bit since I've checked these boards, but I like coming here every now and then because I like seeing, you know, the creative minds of people. So that's pretty much it on the pros. You would think there are a lot of pros. I talk very highly of the game, but there are also some negatives. Let's start off with a very keen one, which is kind of a nitpick, but support. When it comes to card support, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links tends to pull back, in a sense. Now, obviously they can't just throw every single card in that archetype from the TCG into this game. That would completely break the game. They have to throw things in here for balance. But there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of archetypes that need that kind of support, that are just being tossed in here for almost no reason, it seems. Elemental Heroes are a big one. I love those guys, and they're going at it very little at a time. Burning Nova had maybe 2 or 3 cards. Empire of Scarlet has 1 card, and each box from here on has like 1 card for Elemental Heroes, and that's not just it. Let's see, Beast support hasn't really seen anything since Land of the Titans and what was it called? Clash of Wings. Naturia support you haven't really seen Naturia support since the Phoenix, and we just got a little bit more now. Insects, they just got Insectors from Rampage of the Forest all the way up till now. Let's see. But you guys kind of see the point. It makes sense why they have to hold back, because it would completely break the game. But, you know, they could push the envelope a little bit. You know, I feel like they could push the envelope with archetypes that really need it. You know what I mean? And the next thing I wanted to talk about is balance. Now, there's a very fine line of lack of support for a certain archetype and too much support for a certain archetype. I was completely in love with Fur Hires. I still am. I'm not gonna lie. I still find the deck very fun, and I play it occasionally. But it's broken. The deck has literally broken the game. Like, it's the most competitive deck out there. I understand meta is meta, but it's the most competitive deck out there with not many counters and lots going for it with just 1 single box. That's pushing it too far. Spellbooks is another example. There's not many counters to it, only because they literally just play through their deck and bam, they have Spellbook of Fate and you're screwed. Because all they got to do is just activate the quick play and banish your monster or whatever monster that you're going in with and leave you wide open. And then they can just keep doing it over and over and over. Sylvans, when they got released, they actually just got hit. They got hit with a nerf not too long ago, but that's another one. I feel the game, being so PvP based, has a very hard time finding the balance and releasing their cards, which is a very, very big hit. Also, too, besides this new event going on, I feel the state of the game has gotten very stale. Events are coming out a little slower. It seems only because they're kind of just rehashing events over and over. They touch upon them very little each time through, but the events they don't get much better themselves because you're practically doing the exact same thing over and over. And that can be said for a lot of games. But for a game like this, that's kind of hard to stray away from. it tires on you after a while, especially if you're a player like me who's been playing since basically the beginning of the game. I remember the very first event being Pegasus, and 90% of the events after that are almost exactly like Pegasus, and that's not all that great, you know. There are a lot of options that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links offers, but the main events that release the characters are pretty much getting stale at this point. Monster World is a different story. This is something new. It's fun. I plan to jump into it very soon. But most of the time, the events are just kind of rehashing from prior events before and just doing the exact same thing. Another big complaint, it's not a big complaint of mine, but it is still prevalent. The fact that they are releasing boxes monthly. I would actually very much prefer it if the boxes were released bi-monthly, only just to give people the chance to actually sit down and play with the decks that we already have while earning gems to prepare themselves for the next box, because Konami has been cutting down on the free gems as of late. I know I talked about a lot of ways to get gems and everything, but events just haven't been holding up as much gems, you know, as they used to. That's not really too much of a problem in my eyes, but I do see how it affects the community. I do see how it affects, you know, the player base. And I look out for the player base. I like, you know, putting my input out there, helping people out as best as I can. So that's just another minor gripe. It's one of the more minor cons in my opinion, but it's still very much prevalent. I'm pretty sure that covers it all for why Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is my top 5 in my favorite gacha games. So that'll do it for the video, guys. So this is number 5. I'm going to be doing number 4 very soon, so look forward to that if you guys are interested. So feel free to click on it. Check out all my other videos too. My friends are a bunch of great people to listen to. They're awesome people, and we just have a blast. You'll hear lots of great screaming, lots of great jokes, and all that jazz. But thank you guys for watching. Look forward to more of this in the future. And it's the Gaming Gift signing off. Have a wonderful day.